Why are we as humans so fascinated with evil? We may never know. But here, on this show, Real Life Villains, we will dive into the personal lives of some of humanity's most infamous evildoers. Hello everyone, I hope you're having a beautiful day today. Today we are going to be learning about the Björk Stalker, Ricardo López. This is a pretty deep and horrifying story. This guy was mentally deranged, very sick in the head. This could have been avoided if he possibly would have gotten mental help, but obviously he didn't because we're going to be talking about him here today. So go grab yourself some popcorn, grab a can of Coke, snuggle up in your blanket, get ready to listen. Ricardo López is his full name. His alias is the Björk Stalker. His origin is Uruguay. His occupation was pest control officer. He has no powers or skills. His hobby was making videotapes and listening to Björk songs. His goals were to kill Björk and himself. He succeeded with killing himself with a self-inflicted gunshot wound, but failed with Björk. His crimes are stalking, harassment, and attempted murder. Type of villain is a mentally ill stalker. Ricardo López was born January 14th, 1975, and died September 12th, 1996. He is also known as the Björk Stalker. He was a Uruguayan-American pest control worker who attempted to kill Icelandic musician Björk in September 1996. López developed an obsession with Björk in 1993 and became angry over her relationship with musician Goldie. As his obsession intensified, his thoughts turned increasingly violent, destroying his life in the process. In the final days of his life, he formulated a plan to kill her using a homemade acid bomb and take his own life, so he believed they could be together in the afterlife. Over the course of nearly 9 months, López made a video diary, musing about Björk and other topics at his apartment in Hollywood, Florida. On September 12, 1996, he mailed a letter bomb rigged with sulfuric acid to a residence in London, then returned home and filmed his suicide. Police found López's body and diaries 4 days later. They contacted the British police, who intercepted the package. Björk was unharmed. Early life. Ricardo López was born on January 14, 1975, in Uruguay, into a middle-class family who moved to the United States and settled in Georgia. López had a good relationship with his family. He was described as easygoing, but introverted. López had a few male friends, but never had friendships with women or had a girlfriend, as he had feelings of inadequacy and was awkward with girls. With aspirations to become a famous artist, López dropped out of high school. However, he did not seriously pursue an artistic career due to his feelings of inferiority and fear of being rejected entry into art school. He intermittently worked for his brother's pest control business to support himself. By age 19, López had become socially reclusive, and as a means of escape, retreated into a world of fantasies and became enthralled by celebrities. Obsession with Björk. In 1993, López became fixated on Icelandic singer Björk. He began gathering information about her life, followed her career, and wrote numerous fan letters. Initially, López cited her as his artistic muse and said that his infatuation gave him a euphoric feeling. As time passed, his fixation about Björk became all-consuming, and he grew more disconnected from reality. In his diary, López wrote of longing to be accepted by Björk and to be a person who had an effect on her life. He fantasized about inventing a time machine that would enable him to travel to the 1970s to become friends with her as a child. His fantasies about Björk were not sexual. In his diary, he wrote, "I could not have sex with Björk because I love her." Lopez's diary grew to 803 pages, with passages including his thoughts on Björk, as well as his feelings of inadequacy due to being overweight, his disgust and embarrassment over suffering from gynecomastia, which he referred to as a deformity that made him feel weird, and his inability to get a girlfriend. He wrote that he considered himself a loser who never even learned to drive, and complained about his menial job as an exterminator that earned him little money. The diary contained 168 references to Lopez's feelings of failure, 34 references to suicide, and 14 references to murder. He made 408 references to Björk and 52 references to other celebrities. Letter bomb plot and diaries. In 1996, Lopez was living alone in an apartment in Hollywood, Florida. Around this time, he read an article in Entertainment Weekly that mentioned Björk was in a romantic relationship with musician Goldie. Lopez was angered by this perceived betrayal and the fact that she was involved with a black man. Writing in his diary, "I wasted 8 months and she has a effing lover." He began fantasizing about how he could punish Björk. Lopez stopped writing in his diary and began filming a video diary in his apartment. According to Lopez, the diary's purpose was to document my life, my art, and my plan. Comfort is what I seek in speaking to you. I am being my own psychologist. You are a camera. I am Ricardo. He recorded 11 videotapes containing approximately 2 hours of footage each. The tapes contain footage of Lopez preparing his revenge and discussing his crush that ended up as an obsession. Lopez's anger over Björk's relationship with Goldie intensified, and he decided to kill her. In one entry he states, "I am just going to have to kill her. I'm going to send a package. I'm going to be sending her to hell." Lopez initially intended to construct a bomb filled with hypodermic needles containing HIV-tainted blood, which satisfied his desire to have a lasting effect on Björk's life. When he realized it would not be feasible to build such a device, Lopez began constructing a letter bomb using sulfuric acid in a hollowed-out book, which he planned to have sent to Björk's home in London, England by her record label. The device was designed to explode and kill or disfigure Björk as she opened the book. He would commit suicide after mailing the bomb, hoping that in the event that the bomb killed Björk, the two of them would be united in heaven. Death. On the morning of September 12, 1996, Lopez began filming his final video diary entry. The final tape, titled "Last Day, Ricardo Lopez," begins with Lopez preparing to go to the post office to mail the letter bomb. He stated that he was very, very nervous, but that if he aroused suspicion, he would kill himself rather than be arrested. After returning from the post office, Lopez resumed filming. As Björk's music plays in the background, Lopez, nude, shaves his head and paints his face red and green. He examines himself in the mirror and tells the camera that he is a little nervous now. "I'm definitely not drunk. I am not depressed. I know exactly what I am doing. The gun is cocked back. It's ready to roll." As Björk's song, "I Remember You," finishes playing, Lopez shouts, "This is for you," and shoots himself in the mouth with a .38 caliber revolver. Lopez groans and his body falls out of the camera's range. At this point, the camera stopped filming. A hand-painted sign bearing the handwritten words, "The Best of Me, September 12th, hung on the wall behind him. Police theorized that Lopez intended to cover the sign with his blood and brain matter with the gunshot. On September 16th, a foul odor and blood were noticed coming from Lopez's apartment. The Hollywood Police Department entered and discovered Lopez's decomposing corpse. Written on the wall was a message reading, 8mm videos are a documentation of a crime, terrorist matter. They're for you, FBI. The Broward County Sheriff's Office evacuated the building while the bomb squad searched for further explosives, though the device Lopez sent was the only one constructed. After viewing Lopez's final tape, police contacted Scotland Yard in the United Kingdom to warn them that the potentially explosive package was en route to Björk's residence in London. The package had yet to be delivered. The Metropolitan Police intercepted it from a South London post office, and it was safely detonated. There had been little danger of Björk receiving the letter bomb, as her mail was vetted through her management's office. Unbeknownst to Lopez, Björk and Goldie had ended their relationship a few days before he mailed the bomb and killed himself. Aftermath. After Lopez's suicide, Björk said in a statement that she was very distressed by the incident. She said, "It's terrible, very terrible. It's a very sad thing that someone would shoot his face off. And I make music, but in other terms, people shouldn't take me too literally and get involved in my personal life." She sent a card and flowers to Lopez's family. Björk left London for Spain, where she recorded her album Homogenic. She also hired security for her son, Sindri, who was escorted to school with a minor. A year after Lopez's death, Björk discussed the incident in an interview. "I was very upset that somebody had died. I couldn't sleep for a week, and I'd be lying if I said it didn't scare the F out of me. That I could get hurt, and most of all, that my son could get hurt." Lopez's family and friends were aware of his obsession with Björk. They maintained that they had no idea Lopez harbored violent thoughts or was capable of violence. At one point, Lopez's brother had told him to get a real woman, you're obsessed. A psychiatrist who treated Lopez for anxiety shortly before his death also stated that Lopez did not appear dangerous. Lopez's videotapes, including his suicide, were confiscated by the FBI and released to journalists. So guys, that's the story of Ricardo Lopez, the Björk Stalker. If anybody wants any more information on this man, there's a documentary that came out in 2000 that's a condensed version of all 22 hours of his video diaries called The Video Diary of Ricardo Lopez. There are also his video diaries. They are 22 hours long, as I said, so be prepared for a deep rabbit hole. With that being said, they are definitely disturbing, so watch at your own risk. They are a very deep insight into a very mentally ill, obsessed man's psyche. With that all said, if you are enjoying my content that I'm putting out, please give me a like and a subscribe, and I will be releasing new content hopefully weekly. I am busy and this does take some time, but I definitely have some ideas for future videos. If you guys have ideas for future videos, please comment who you would like to see me cover down below, and I will definitely get to your suggestions as soon as I can. With that being said, thank you everyone, and I hope you have a fantastic day.